Now there's a call from the Indiana State House tonight for an audit of Indiana's Family and Social Services Administration. And those behind this call right now want to figure out how the agency's budget projections could have come up a whopping $1 billion short.
At Risk is cutting a program that helps parents of medically complex children care for their children at home. The state's lieutenant governor today asked for that FSSA audit.
This could really impact families, and there was a mother who had a conversation with our Emily Longnecker today about how eliminating this specific program would really impact how she cares for her young daughter.
3.5-year-old Rosie was all smiles at the Indiana State House Tuesday morning. Rosie's mom, Melanie, managed to smile sometimes too, despite knowing her daughter could have a seizure at any moment.
We never know when Rosie's going to have a seizure. And on her worst days, she can have up to 100 seizures a day.
Any one of them could end Rosie's life.
Every seizure propels us into a state of emergency, and it becomes a race against time.
A race to get Rosie the medicine and oxygen she needs. That's how it's been for Melanie since Rosie was diagnosed with a rare form of epilepsy when she was just an infant. Rosie's care is a 24-hour-a-day job, one Melanie has been paid for as part of the state's attendant care program. Now, because of a massive shortfall to the state's Medicaid budget, FSSA has proposed cuts to that program.
Medically complex children are not scapegoats for their budgetary incompetencies.
Under the FSSA proposal, these parents would no longer be paid to care for their own children. They get $10 to $15 an hour. Others, though, could be hired to do the job. But with a shortage of care and the cost, Melanie says it's better to let parents do the job and get paid.
This is not a matter of preference or convenience. This is an absolute necessity.
FSSA wants to move parents to a different program that would give them a daily stipend to pay for care. Melanie says that's not enough.
You wouldn't even be able to afford a registered nurse for 2 hours.
Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, who's also the chair of the Intellectual and Developmental Disability Task Force, says she wrote a letter to FSSA with several questions, like how many kids with medically complex needs could be affected by the program cuts. So far, Crouch says she hasn't received an answer.
It's not just about numbers. It's not just about statistics. It's not just about the bottom line. We are talking about real Hoosiers with real issues, with families that are trying to fulfill those needs.
Families like Rosie's now calling on lawmakers to halt the proposed cuts through legislation.
You pulled a rug out from underneath us, and we're not going to let that. We're not just going to let that go.
A bill in the House that called for more accountability and transparency from FSSA never made it to the floor. Some of the language from that bill could end up in a Senate bill in the second half of the legislative session, but that is not guaranteed. We reached out to FSSA for comment. We did not hear back. At the State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.